All right, take you to Wall Street now as stocks sink on President Trump's latest tariff threat. The closing bell rang just moments ago, and the Dow slid 821 points as investors digest Trump's move to hike global duties to 15% after the Supreme Court struck down his emergency tariffs. Here's a visual representation of the S&P 500. This is our interactive heat map brought to you by FinViz. As you can see, big tech names like Microsoft, Oracle, and and Salesforce landed in the red amid continued fears of AI disruptions for software companies. I want to bring in Brooke DiPalma, a senior reporter for Yahoo Finance. Brooke, great to be with you. American families have paid more than $1,700 each in tariff costs since Trump entered office. That's according to Democratic lawmakers on the Joint Economic Committee. So will Americans get that money back? Are tariff refunds even a possibility here?
Liz, unfortunately, bad news here, because everyone that I spoke to today said that tariff refunds directly to the American people is highly unlikely. But on the flip side, companies like Costco, who essentially filed a lawsuit ahead of that Friday SCOTUS ruling, they're really hoping for a refund here. And experts telling me that that's likely going to be the case, but it could take years for these companies to see refunds. Other companies that filed ahead of that ruling include the tire company Goodyear. We also had clothing company J.Crew. They also filed ahead of the lawsuit, or rather the ruling. They filed this lawsuit that essentially they wanted to have rights to those tariff refunds. And just to put this in bigger context, according to the Customs and Border Protection for the U.S., these IEEPA tariffs that were brought under that ruling that were now deemed illegal, they brought in around $133 billion. And economists over at Penn Wharton saying that that could be even more, that these might have even generated as much as $175 billion in revenue. But once again, experts telling me throughout today that this could take lots of time, and this just means further uncertainties for these companies to navigate.
And Brooke, major retailers like Walmart have said that tariff costs led to price hikes. In light of the Supreme Court's ruling here, will consumers see those prices go down?
So Liz, according to sources that I did speak to inside of some of these retailers, it's unlikely that they're going to directly lower prices. Even in a note to clients, Goldman Sachs saying specifically that it does not expect companies to lower these prices. And that's largely because of the fact that there is so much uncertainty still lingering. Now we could have that 10% tariff under Section 122 go into effect tomorrow, as much as 15%, President Trump has said on Truth Social. And so it's unlikely that consumers will see any relief anytime soon. But the budget lab at Yale, I also spoke to one of their economists as well. And what we saw there was we saw this tariff rate of about 16% that then fell to about 9% following Friday's ruling. And now with the Section 122 tariffs going into effect, that rate will still be around 13.7% for U.S. consumers.
All right, Brooke DiPalma, thank you so much.